Get in there, Blades!
Lads, lads, lads!
So leading up to the game, everyone was very positive, coming off our first win of the season. It sounds brilliant to say that. Hopefully we were more confident going into this one. Newcastle was 7 games without a win. But they do have some threats in, especially Wilson up front, and also Fraser in the midfield. He's very creative, so it should be a tough game. Lineup-wise, there was only one change for the Blades, with Burke coming in up front instead of Mousse. Very much looking forward to seeing more of Jayden Bogle in the league. He's had a good run, a couple of runs of the game so far. Looked very good, very attacking, which is something that I think we've been desperately lacking. So I'll say it from the off, that first half was one of the best halves of football I have seen from any team for a long time. Like, we were just completely dominant in every single aspect. Possession, we were so much better in possession. I couldn't believe how well we were doing. We were strong in the tackle. We were just attacking. We were everything. We looked 100% like ourselves again, which we haven't been able to say for a while. We had a great chance on 12 minutes. David McGoldrick tried to slot it in the bottom corner. Probably should have gone for power. Pulled a good save from Darlow. But I think that goal came from the build-up. We were absolutely brilliant. There was fantastic movement from a number of players. Burke, Lundstrom and Fleck all involved. And a lovely run from McGoldrick. They should have probably gone ahead on 25 minutes. Great cross, but Wilson was allowed a free header. I'm not sure. I think it was Basham that went for him. Should have scored. That's probably the only weakness Basham really has. It is the, heading and defensive heading especially. We then had a few good chances. First one, I think Burke ran in. Good challenge right at the end. Dave McGoldrick had probably a pretty sitter of a header. He should have done much better. And then the worst of the lot, and probably the best chance of the entire game, was Lundstrom. He was literally a couple of centimetres out. I'm not really sure what happened. I don't know if their player got there first or he overrun it, but he ended up in the back of the net and the ball ended up near the corner flag. So then Fraser was an absolute idiot and got himself sent off. 2 cards in about 3 minutes. So that gave us a big advantage. And really, we should have been winning going into half-time, but it was an absolutely stunning half, Blades. I'm absolutely buzzing to be able to say that finally again. We looked absolutely like ourselves again. And hopefully we'll get to see more of the same in the second half. Come on, you Blades.
No changes at half-time. Chris Wilder was planning for his usual 50th minute substitution, which is a theme of late. Man advantage, and could the Blades take advantage of that? Newcastle were going to set up to go for a 0-0 and possibly even nick something on the break with Callum Wilson's pace. You could see they'd offered very little in the first half and it was going to be tough for the Blades to break down. It was pleasing to see a positive change. Surprised that Chris Basham was the man that went off, but maybe saving his legs for a later game. Maybe Ethan Ampadu, I must say, I thought he had his best game in a Sheffield United shirt, which was pleasing. Billy coming on. He was hungry. He was really fired up for that. I showed him some of the challenges a little bit later on in the half. Blades carried on possession. At one point, we'd had 88% of possession, and it was good possession. It was trying to create opportunities. David McGoldrick, again, absolutely superb. What a game that he had. Then came the key moment after lots of pushing and trying and effort and trying to get ahead. Handball in the box. VAR, again, used as it should be. I think the eye line of the defender meant that it was going to be given as a penalty. And who better to took it away than Sheffield's very own Billy Sharp. Billy Sharp, he scores goals, particularly from the penalty spot. I know he's missed a couple in previous seasons, but that one never was in doubt. The Blades carried on going forward, looking for a second, sat back a bit when they got the goal, which I guess was understandable, but they looked relatively comfortable. Dave McGoldrick gave away a free kick. Ramsdale made a good save and a very cheeky laugh at Andy Carroll, which made my day. I'm really pleased for Rammers to get that first clean sheet on the board as well. Jayden Bogle arguably had Newcastle's best attempt on goal. 96 minutes, talk about giving us a heart attack. God dear Jayden. Oh, the way that was going, I thought if that had rolled in, I don't think I'd have been on this video at all. But then relief. the full-time whistle, 3 points for Sheffield United. Has the tide turned? I don't know what to say after a win. It's just absolutely magnificent. Every single player at the club deserves that win. John Lundstrom was superb, Ampadu, superb, Egan, superb. I could go on forever. But the joy and the expressions of people's faces when we had that win, and for the first time how fans react, a win for the Red and White Wizards. The Great Escape is on. Last week I said relegation and win the FA Cup. That worked out okay. All right, I'm getting carried away, but we've gone from 2 points to 5. Is the Great Escape on? Come on, Blades.
The Blades have won a game. I get to do player ratings. I wanted to give everybody a 10. Then I realized I should probably make this a little bit more realistic. So I've only given one player a 10. Tune in to see who it is. First up, Ramsdale, 8.5. I think he played well. A lot of the shots came right at him, so he didn't have to make any difficult saves. But on the whole, he didn't make any mistakes himself, and he definitely made up for a few that some of our other players made. So a thoroughly deserved clean sheet for him, 8.5. Moving on to the defenders, Ethan Ampadu, 7.5 from me. He had quite a few really good passes across the field in the first half, a couple of which directly led to goal scoring opportunities. And I don't think he made any big glaring mistakes while defending either. So Ampadu, solid 7.5 from me. John Egan, 9. He's always going to be there in the middle of the defense, winning every single header that he can. I think today he also had a lot of opportunities to slide into some tackles or bring Callum Wilson or some of the other strikers on Newcastle down early. And he resisted those urges, resisted the temptation to do that, played very smart, stayed on his feet. So for me, solid 9 for John Egan. Chris Basham, 7.5. He overlapped well. He even had some runs through the midfield. Unfortunately, his crossing wasn't quite on point today. And I think he got a little hard done by the 50th minute substitution by Chris Wilder. But still, solid performance from Bash. Can't give him anything less than a 7 here today. Wingbacks, we got Ben Osborne and Jaden Bogle. I think they both had really solid games. You saw it in the FA Cup game over the weekend. They continued their solid performances. For me, Osborne has a 7.5. He had a really nice set of crosses in the first half, held the ball up beautifully in the second half, definitely kept possession when we could have easily lost it in previous games, as you've seen this season. So he definitely has improved there. And he just showed the guts with that last ditch diving block in the first half that saved the shot. I can't remember who it was from, but just really threw it out all on the line there. So very impressed. Bogle, for me, gets an 8. It was going to be higher, but then you saw that like chested ball, own goal almost that went out for a corner that nearly gave me a heart attack. So for that reason, I docked him a point. So you get an 8, Jaden Bogle, but otherwise, amazing play on the right side. Had some of our best shots on target today. And unfortunately, I love you, George Baldock, but Bogle's got to start until he proves otherwise. Bogle has to start. In the midfield, we had John Fleck, gave him a 6, a little pedestrian, as we like to say. First half definitely was the weakest player of a super strong side, but he remained solid throughout the second half, keeping possession. Couple errors, but nothing too glaring. Norwood, 6.5. Again, a really good performance, but I'm going to dock him a point because you also gave me a heart attack. That dreadful, I don't know who he was passing to, loses the ball, gives it away in the midfield towards the end there. Luckily, nothing came of it, but Norwood, you were doing so well today, and then you did that. So, and then finally in the midfield, John Lundstrom, 8.5 from me. Really, really solid. This was the John Lundstrom we had last year when we were at our peak performance. He's driving into the box late. He's owning the right-hand side, passing, crossing, getting everybody involved, being a real true conduit in the midfield. And he didn't make any mistakes today. And that's what we've seen so far of Lundstrom this year, was little mistakes, kind of head not in the game fully. You saw today he was committed and he was out there. And I love that. So 8.5 for Lundstrom. Our 2 starting strikers, McGoldrick, give him an 8.5. He's always solid. He's always great, linking up play, getting everybody involved, getting shots created. really, truly deserved to have a standing ovation from a fully packed crowd at Bramall Lane today when he got subbed off in the 94th minute. Very unfortunate that COVID restrictions can't allow that to happen. For me, Ollie Burke gets a 7.5. He was really good in the first half on the counter when Newcastle was more spread out. As soon as they went down a man, came out of the second half, they played really defensively, and Ollie Burke just really couldn't get anything going. So it's not his type of game. His type of game is, okay, we're hitting him on the counter with his speed. Also, I didn't think he and Didsey linked up very well. They were not on the same page for quite a bit of the first half. So hopefully this is just a one-off for the two of them, because I would hate to see that partnership not doing well in the future. Substitutes now. Brewster, for me, gets an 8. He came on for Basham, and he deserved a goal. He had 2 really, really good chances, one just off the woodwork on the side there. But wow, he's got the ball control. He's got the pace. He's looking better and better every single game. For me, I'd probably start him with McGoldrick in this next game, see what we can do. But Brewster, wow, he's going to be a great scorer for us in the future. Second substitute, Billy Sharp. And here, folks, is the 10 that I'm giving Billy. He won the penalty. He took the penalty, and he scored the penalty. Yes, this is probably a bit high. The yellow card that he got was just a silly foul to give, very close to being a red card for just ridiculous and unnecessary. But I'm giving the ratings. We won the game. Somebody had to get a 10. So for me, it's a 10 for our number 10, Billy Sharp. And then the last sub, Jags, came on right at the end. Didn't really do much, but he didn't let Newcastle score from the corner. And that's all we need from our defenders at this point. That's what we needed. So +1 for the rating, you get a 6, Jags. Congratulations. And finally, Chris Wilder. For me, he gets a 10 today. Had the right subs. And you saw that he had this team rolling. They came in with the right mindset after a win in the FA Cup. You saw it from the moment this game kicked off that we were not leaving unless we had 3 points in our pockets. Yeah, I think just everything today proved that this team is not going to go down without a fight. That we're here to prove to this team, this league, that we can stay. And I'm super excited for the games coming forward now. 2 wins in a row. Let's make it 3 against Tottenham.
It's supposed to be my day off, but we won! We won! We've ended the long national nightmare, and finally, after, 7 years, we've won a Premier League game, kept a Premier League clean sheet, and Billy Sharp scored his 100th goal. And more importantly, Hal can shave the beard.
Well. What positives can I possibly take from that performance? That is my Sheffield United. We had some performances earlier in the season, like the first half against Liverpool, where we sort of said, we sort of played how we normally do, weren't too bad, didn't get a result. But actually, on reflection, that was nothing in comparison to that. That performance was brilliant. Fantastic up front, fantastic in defence, just much more like our usual selves. We're also really clever winning our fouls as well. No dark arts, but very smart with the ball and very intelligent at winning the fouls, which is really good to see. In terms of the players themselves, well, I think having a settled side did help. Only one change from the cup match. We've been talking about this before, about having that settled side and players knowing each other and their roles. But individuals, Osborne, fantastic first ball delivery, which again he had from the cup. I think Burke was looking much more confident after his goal. Even Ampadu had a good match, which is saying something. Rammers didn't treat the ball like a bar of soap. He was pretty good all game. And Bogle is becoming a serious goal threat, actually, at both ends of the pitch. Negatives really are just nitpicking. I think Flex still looks a bit iffy. He seemed a bit off the pace in the first half. Got a little bit better second half. I can't remember him doing too much. He continues to be a bit of a concern. And Sharp, you don't know anyone else taking that penalty. Billy Sharp scores goals, club legend. But apart from that, what more does he really offer, I'm afraid, in the Premier League now at his age? It's very predictable, runs the channels, trying to win a foul, doesn't come off as much as it used to, Billy. But as I say, nitpicking. Overall, fantastic performance. And let's carry on this way. If we do that in the next match, we're surely going to get something. I was worried that if we didn't get a goal tonight and maybe Newcastle scored, the heads would drop. We didn't, we kept plugging away, we got the goal. And I'm just so happy. And let's carry this forward. Come on the Blades!
So whilst editing, I've just realised that Mr. Hal Stewart has got that excited that he's done positives and negatives had he meant to do? Where are we going from here? So you've got 2 positives and negatives.
We won a game. We won a game. We won a game. Positives are we won a game. So much positive. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. The dream is on. We beat Bristol Rovers in the cup as well, so we're going to win the FA Cup. I'm off to get my suit measured. I'm so excited. Still got to be more clinical in front of goal, so we'll get the negatives out of the way. For all the excellent play early on, Newcastle nearly took the lead in the first half with a Wilson header at around the 25th minute mark. That can't happen. Loads of possession, but we still got to be more clinical. Ampadu, let's get on to the positives. He was really good. Ampadu looked like he could do anything he wanted. He played like a footballer. I've been very critical of him in recent weeks. He was proper up for it. It was like he had a point to prove. Bogle, looking like prime Borbokis, getting forward. Imaginative, loads of movement, having shots. One pretty bad one on his left foot, but still, he's in those positions. The referee, for large parts, almost right up until the end, he was pretty good. He was pretty fair. He was pretty even-handed. More positives. Now we know Aaron Ramsdale needs new contact lenses, and that's been the reason we've been conceding. I will pick up another negative. Actually, we didn't play like we had done for the preceding game after we scored. We sat back a bit, traditional kind of Blade style. We kind of sat on that 1-0 lead. That was a bit disappointing. And Billy's challenge on 79 on Shah, very poor. I didn't like that one at all, right down the ankles. But this isn't time for negatives. This is time for positives. We won a game. We've really got to focus on so many things, right? First of all, not getting relegated. That's the main one. Then finishing with more than 11 points, because we are not a bad side. We are nowhere near a West Brom, a Newcastle, or, most crucially, a Derby County with that record. We're pretty good. We proved it. We played just like the Blades of last season. Just got to score when it's not a penalty now. But brilliant. 100 goals for Billy as well. That's another positive. So many positives. And we're going to win the cup. Did I mention that?
What a guy, Hal Stewart. He's just sent me through what he was supposed to do in the first place. So thanks, Hal. And here it is.
Where do we go from here? I had a shave because we won. I mean, just a bit of one, just to tidy up. I was never going to shave it all.
Was that it? That is the end to the video. Looks like I'm going to have to do it myself then. Here we go. There you are. Thank you for watching this video. You don't normally see me on the Fans React, but here I am. Yeah, we've just won a game. We're all absolutely buzzing, as you can tell. So thanks for watching another Fans React. Let us know in the comments what you thought to everybody's comments, and we'll see you next time.